Iran has just launched a retaliatory missile attack targeting Israel. A U.S. senior administration official telling ABC News now that Iran is expected to fire 240 to 250 missiles at 4 targets in Israel. This includes the Mossad headquarters, Israel's spy agency, 3 Israeli air bases.
As it stands at this moment, Iran has in fact launched 180 missiles into Israel in retaliation for Israel assassinating a leader of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, and also for assassinating the head of Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hassan Nasrallah. Now, this of course broadens the Middle East war to levels that are both dangerous for human lives and also devastating for the global economy. And so I want to walk through all of that with you right now. So as I mentioned, today Iran launched 2 rounds of missiles against Israel in retaliation for these assassinations. Israel is likely to intercept the missiles. In fact, you saw some footage of them intercepting the missiles because of the fact that they have an incredibly sophisticated, multi-layered defense capability. They've got the Iron Dome, intercepts long-range ballistic missiles. David Sling intercepts medium-range missiles, such as those believed to be possessed by Hezbollah in Lebanon. And then there's the Arrow 2 and Arrow 3. These are the upper layers of Israel's defense system. The Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 intercept medium to long-range missiles and intercontinental ballistic missiles, respectively. Now, with all that in mind, let's take a look at some of the reporting on ABC News, which elaborated on some more of the details on this retaliatory strike.
We certainly know that the Iron Dome and other air defenses are in operation, and this is happening right as we speak. A nationwide emergency alert to all Israelis to shelter. All our colleagues, people with friends and family are all hiding now, basically in bunkers. Many people in their homes, they have kind of makeshift shelters, and everyone is now underground. This came shortly after a terrorist attack in Israel. We're told that this is possibly the first of 4 waves of attacks. Now, this is almost, if the 250 figure is right, that's almost double the size of the attack that took place in April. Remember, Iran attacking at that time. We suspected that there would be an attack, but this is significantly larger. Israel has warned all of its citizens to take all precautions to try and stay underground if they can.
Well, the retaliatory strike should have been expected, and in fact were expected. Netanyahu, who has been urging the United States to go to war with Iran on his behalf, on Israel's behalf, is of course saying that there is a price to pay for these retaliatory strikes, and that Israel will retaliate for Iran's retaliatory strikes. So essentially inching us closer and closer, I wouldn't even say inching at this point, but making it clear that we are headed toward a hot war with Iran. And the United States, the military superpower backing and enabling Israel, has made clear that they will be defending Israel. For instance, you have a White House official who told the Washington Post anonymously, "We are actively supporting defense preparations to defend Israel against this attack. A direct military attack from Iran against Israel will carry severe consequences for Iran." A US defense official who also spoke to the Washington Post on condition of anonymity says that US forces are actively defending against Iranian-launched missiles targeting Israel. Quote, "Our forces remain postured to provide additional defensive support and to protect US forces operating in the region." Now, before we get to the economic consequences for all of us, should this war move forward.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it. Yeah, so there's actually a bunch of good news out of this. One is that the attacks were totally ineffective, so no one got hurt. That's good news always. Number 2, it makes it less likely that you're going to have a bigger war when the counterattack is totally ineffective. That's never stopped Netanyahu. We'll get back to that in a second. But number 3, if there is no broader war or bigger war, that means the US elections are less likely to be affected. And we don't want that. Now, if you don't know, right now the Israeli public is by 2-to-1 margin wants Trump. So the Israeli government wants Trump. It appears Netanyahu thinks that Trump will allow them free reign to, attack, invade, kill, whatever number of different Muslim countries and as many Palestinians as they like. And that's true. That would be shocking if Trump didn't cheerlead that. And he believes that Trump, of course, since he's controlled by Miriam Edelson, et cetera, that he will just funnel more of our taxpayer dollars to Israel, which is also likely true, but so would Kamala Harris, to be fair.
Yep.
So that's the limited good news from today, but significant if it doesn't get into a broader war, right? Now, look, there's plenty of bad news too. We'll get into more of that as we go, but the American media reaction is also telling too. So there's just this huge coverage on air, and I get it. There's interesting pictures and video of it, and bombs keep coming in and then getting knocked out, et cetera. But there's this thing of oh my God, the Israelis are slightly scared. They had to go into bunkers for an hour and then come back out, or however. I've heard an hour, and I don't want to be unfair. Maybe it was longer than an hour. And so I'm thrilled that nobody got hurt. I'm completely in favor of nonviolence. Okay, so that coverage would be perfectly fine if it was just Iran attacked and that's the only context there is. But you've got decapitated kids in Gaza, 250 women and children killed.
I know, but they're Palestinians. They're not Israelis.
No, those are Lebanese. It's still Muslim though, so totally irrelevant.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. By the way, they could be Christians in Lebanon. Okay, it doesn't matter. Israel can slaughter whoever they want, and no one cares. That's the thing that drives me nuts. Dana Bash today, as she is watching, okay, Israel's defense capabilities intercept those missiles. She's having a panic attack.
Yeah.
But she herself sat there on that set watching the footage out of Gaza, watching the footage of children who lost their limbs as a result of Israel's bombings, children who are decapitated, okay? Parents holding their children without a head, okay? Was she concerned about that? Any shock and awe when it came to that kind of footage?
Yeah, so look, I don't want you to not have empathy for Israeli citizens. We're all human beings. We need to have empathy for all of us. But when American media seems to have almost no empathy for the Lebanese and the Palestinians, that's what's upsetting. So was there equal coverage of them being on rooftops in Beirut? Well, obviously they wouldn't go there because Lebanon doesn't have a defense shield. Israel's the only country in the world that has a defense shield and has one of the largest military's nukes and the largest military to back it up. So of course you'd be playing with your life if you went into Beirut, but were they on the rooftops going, oh my God, the 250 kids and women are about to get slaughtered. Oh, they did get slaughtered. Oh my God, here they are, their heads exploded, their bodies are mutilated, etc. No, Israel did a strike, yeah, civilians are dead, human shields, collateral damage, no big deal. Oh my God, Israel might got hit. Okay, come on guys. The extreme reaction and the difference between the reactions is unreal.
Yeah, the double standard. I mean, it's infuriating. I mean, look, if the tables were turned and the treatment, toward Israelis was as deplorable as the treatment toward Palestinians in Gaza and the Lebanese, I would be equally as outraged by it.
Are you kidding me?
Because I see them as human beings, but on both sides. I see civilians as civilians, I see them as human beings. But it is shocking to me how much this current war has allowed for all these various public figures that people tune into to watch because they trust them, how much they've let their mask slip, how little they care about human lives.
Look, come on guys, this is so obvious. So if you had 5.5 million Jews who were being occupied by, and let's be honest, religious fundamentalist Muslims, because it's religious fundamentalist Jews in Israel that are trying to take the land in the West Bank, reoccupy Gaza Strip, et cetera. And we saw those poor Jews, 5.5 million of them, occupied for 57 years in these unbearable open air prisons and camps and slaughtered at will. And we saw an area the size of Las Vegas filled with Jewish people who were just slaughtered, 41,000 of them slaughtered, 20 dead women and children everywhere. I mean, what wouldn't we do as good, decent human beings? Not just as Americans, but like as decent human beings, what wouldn't we do to save those Jewish people? But when it comes to Palestinians or Lebanese, America doesn't care at all. In fact, that's not even true. Joe Biden has rewarded them. The more Palestinians they killed and the more wars they started, Joe Biden wrote them a bigger check. And it's not just Joe Biden. The Republican leaders were like, Joe Biden hasn't given Israel enough money. So we as a country are rewarding the massacre of the Palestinians, their endless occupation, and Israel invading its neighbors. But the minute Israel is even threatened with no casualties at all of the American media and politicians go nuts. The politicians are out there going, there will be severe consequences for Iran. Oh, so 41,000 dead, you don't care, no severe consequences. In fact, a severe check in the other direction, $26 billion is a reward and a gift for murdering all those Palestinians. If Israelis are even endangered and they have to go into a bunker for an hour or two, that's it. Severe consequences for those dirty, violent, savage Muslims. Ridiculous.
So let's talk a little bit about what a war with Iran would mean outside of obviously the men and women in our military risking their lives on behalf of Israel in a war that should not have happened. Well, the economic impact would be pretty devastating. So Israel plans to retaliate by potentially hitting Iran's oil infrastructure. What do you think that's gonna do to the global economy? So for instance, Iran is a major oil producer and provider for China. China can't get its energy from Iran. It's going to turn to other sources in the global market. My point is there's gonna be limited supply of something that every country needs, which means that demand stays the same, supply goes down, obviously oil prices are gonna go up. So look forward to that. Oil prices go up, the price of everything goes up because the price of transporting goods and services goes up. So I don't know how enabling Israel to basically provoke the situation to a point where now we're potentially gonna go to war with Iran was a good idea. How was that a good idea by the United States government?
So no, Biden would rather lose the election, and he's proven it 1,000 times. He'd rather lose the election than defy Israel. He brought in 43,000 troops, as we're about to tell you. He's like, Iran, please hit them, so I could use it as an excuse to fight this war on behalf of Israel. So that's the situation. Look, guys, if I want to be complete, on October 8th, Hezbollah started firing again, 100% ineffectual, nope, 99% ineffectual rockets. One got through, killed 12 kids, and I hate it. Obviously now 250 dead on the other, so 1,000 dead in Lebanon, but 250 women and children. And nobody gives a damn, nobody thinks that, oh, well, of course Lebanon should strike back and Iran should strike back against Israel. Israel's the aggressor and has killed so many more people, so many more innocent civilians. But here in America, you would never get that kind of fairness, justice, or equality because they just don't think Muslim lives matter at all. And I want to be clear, not just our politicians, but almost everyone in American media. Ironically, the two, Trey Yingst and Fox News has done a great job. And I say ironic because it's on Fox News. And he says covering Gaza was like living in hell. Absolute torture that the Palestinians are going through. And Jeremy Diamond of CNN has done a brilliant job of covering it. And they've been on the ground because when you're a human being and you're on the ground and you see the devastation that Israel does so flippantly, and it's hard not to be moved by that and give them credit for good reporting. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.